Very good evening to all of you. So the today topic is inspection, search, seizure and arrest. Small topic, but it is very interesting. So yesterday in the last class, we have completed the audit in 65 and 66 and multiple type of the assessment. Today we are going to cover inspection, which is being covered by the 67 search seizure, and then arrest will be covered in the 69. This chapter, the provision related to the inspection search seizure are provided in the tax law in order to protect the interest of the genuine taxpayer. As the tax evader, by evading the tax, get an unfair advantage over the genuine taxpayer. These provisions are also required to safeguard the government legitimate dues, wherein these provisions act as a deterrent by checking evasion, provide a level playing field to all genuine taxpayers. Because if you see the practically, the ITC input tax credit is being denied if supplier registration is being cancelled. And that is to be retrospectively. See, at the time of purchasing or at the time of doing the transaction, how the buyer would be aware that in future the supplier registration would be cancelled retrospectively. So there are various problems to the genuine taxpayer, considering that these provisions help to some extent they will protect the interest of the genuine taxpayer. Very good evening to all. Salish, Namrata, Viraj, Satish, Mansa, Kirti and all. So it may be mentioned that the provision of the inspection, search, seizure and arrest are exercised only in the exceptional circumstances and the last resort to protect the government revenue. It should not be the regular practice that the officer will create the fear of arrest, will create the fear of unnecessary hardship during the inspection search seizure. So they are saying the provision of the inspection search seizure and arrest would be used as a last resort. Chapter 14 deal with this chapter 67 to 71. Stipulate the provision relating to the inspection, search, seizure, arrest. State GST law also provide identical provision in relation to these provisions. Now, let me start with the power of inspection, search, seizure. The power of the inspection enable the officer to access any place of the business of a taxable person and also any place of business of a person engaged in transporting the goods or who is an owner or operator of the warehouse or godown. As per section 67, inspection can be carried out only upon the written authorization. It should be written approval. in the yesterday, we have discussed the prior sanction, prior permission, prior approval. But please differentiate 67 talking about the written authorization given by an officer, which rank, not below the rank of the joint commissioner. It means it should be the joint commissioner or above. It can be commissioner, it can be chief commissioner, likewise. Then what are the circumstances for carrying out the inspection? An inspection can be carried out only after the joint commissioner or an officer higher in the rank gives the such authorization to the proper officer. Such authorization can be given if he has reason to believe, underline the word, reason to believe. It means if there is certain question in the exam, then your answer should have these words, joint commissioner or higher rank, reason to believe, because these are the key word I can say. That taxable person has suppressed any transaction. Suppressed stock of the goods in hand. Claimed input tax credit in excess of its entitlement. Contravened any provision of the act to evade the tax. The taxable person has done one of the following. Suppress any transaction of supply, suppress stock, claim excess ITC, and contravene any provision. Any person. Now please note, they have used the word taxable person, and here they have used the word any person. It means whether he is liable to take registration or registered, or even not liable to take registration or even not registered. The clause B, second point, they are saying any person who is engaged in transporting of goods or owner or operator of the warehouse or godown or any other place has kept goods which have escaped payment of the taxes. मतलब उसके पास वैसा गुड्स है जिसमें टैक्स का पेमेंट नहीं हुआ है, और has kept his accounts or goods in manner that is likely to cause evasion of the taxes. Then reason to believe का मतलब क्या हुआ? Reason to believe का मतलब है knowledge of the fact which, although not amounting to the direct knowledge, would cause a reasonable person knowing the same fact to reasonably conclude the same thing. अगर वो इंफॉर्मेशन किसी और रीजनेबल पर्सन के पास भी होना तो भी उसका आउटकम, उसका व्यू पॉइंट सेम है जैसा ऑफिसर का व्यू पॉइंट है. तो रीजन टू बिलीव मतलब हैविंग द नॉलेज ऑफ द फैक्ट which although not direct knowledge but could cause a reasonable person knowing the same fact to reasonably conclude the same thing. As per section 26 of Indian Penal Code, a person is said to have reason to believe a thing if he has sufficient cause to believe that thing but not otherwise. Reason to believe contemplate an objective determination based on intelligent care and evaluation. It should not be by suspicion. मतलब मुझे देख के ऐसा लगता है, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. The reason to believe should be based on intelligent care and evaluation, which is distinct from purely subjective consideration. मेरा जो डिसीजन है, मेरा जो रीजन टू बिलीव है, it should be based on the intelligence analysis. It should not be based on the subjective consideration. Reason to believe is more than a mere suspicion but less than a evidence in possession about the violation of the law. Suspicion से ज्यादा सस्पेक्ट नहीं कर रहा, बट हाँ हाथ में प्रूफ नहीं है, उससे थोड़ा कम, about the violation of the law. it has to be and must be that an honest and reasonable person based on the relevant material and circumstances, either pursuant to the inspection or otherwise, if it is felt that any goods which are liable for confiscation, either pursuant to the inspection or otherwise, it is felt that any goods which are liable to be confiscated, otherwise means it can be based on intelligence information. So there are various intelligence division. So based on the information received by that department or based on the information based on the inspection, अगर ये लगता है, if it is felt that any goods which are liable for confiscation under the act or any document or books or things are secretly stored or found, किसी गुड्स को जिसे कॉन्फिस्केट किया जा सकता है, या कोई भी डॉक्यूमेंट, कोई भी बुक्स और कोई भी थिंग्स, प्लीज नोट कोई भी थिंग्स, इट मींस ड्यूरिंग द इंस्पेक्शन they can seize anything. It can be hard disk, it can be computer, it can be mobile, it can be records, document, anything which are secretly stored or found, or any document, books or things accounts are found which may be useful for the department in the proceeding for demand of the taxes. डिपार्टमेंट को ये लगता है कि वो जो इंफॉर्मेशन है, वो जो गुड्स है, वो जो बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स है, वो जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स है, वो यूजफुल है किस चीज के लिए, जो प्रोसीडिंग वो कर रहे हैं फॉर डिटरमाइनिंग द लाइबिलिटी टू पे द टैक्सेस, देन वो डिपार्टमेंट क्या करेंगे, कुड सर्च एंड सीज सच गुड्स, डॉक्यूमेंट, बुक्स एंड थिंग्स. Any tax law should provide power to the enforcing officer to check the evasion of tax. As per the dictionary meaning and as noted in the different judicial pronouncement, the term search in simple language denote an action of a government machinery to go look through or examine carefully the place, area, person or object. तो सर्च का मतलब क्या हुआ, सिंपल लैंग्वेज में क्या हुआ, मतलब कहीं जाना, देखना, उस चीजों को एग्जामिन करना केयरफुली. वो प्लेस हो सकता है, एरिया हो सकता है, कोई पर्सन हो सकता है या ऑब्जेक्ट हो सकता है. किस चीज के लिए ऑब्जेक्ट है, क्या उद्देश्य है, इन ऑर्डर टू फाइंड समथिंग कंसील्ड और फॉर द पर्पज ऑफ डिस्कवरिंग एविडेंस ऑफ क्राइम. द सर्च ऑफ द पर्सन और द व्हीकल और द प्रीमाइसेस can only be done under proper and valid authority of law. ठीक है. Now, valid authority of law में क्या आता है, section 67. Section 67 giving the power of inspection, search, seizure, etc. The term seizure has not been specifically defined in the, as per section 67, the search and seizure can be carried out by the joint commissioner or an officer higher in the rank or by an officer authorized by such person not below the rank of the joint commissioner if he has reason to believe any goods liable to be confiscation. That any goods liable to be confiscation or any documents or books or things which in his opinion shall be useful for relevant for any proceeding under this act are secreted in any place. The term seizure has not been specifically defined. In the law lexicon dictionary, seizure is defined as the act of taking physical custody, actual or constructive, of the property by an officer under legal process. So there's a difference between seizure and confiscation. There's a difference between seizure and confiscation. What is the difference? So if some goods has been seized by the proper officer. It means now the department has the physical position. If the goods has been seized, it means department has physical possession, but ownership is still with the actual person. When they will initiate the proceeding of confiscation of the goods, it means the ownership is also being shifted to the department. Now the department, government become the owner of the goods. After initiating the proceeding of confiscation, department become owner of the goods and then they can disposed of, seized, something like that, confiscated, they can sold something. So seizure का मतलब क्या है? Specifically defined in the GST Act. What is the meaning? It is physical custody. It can be actual or constructive of the property by an officer under legal process. It generally implies taking the custody forcibly, contrary to the wishes of the owner of the property or who has the lawful possession and who was unwilling to the part with the possession. Not only the input and capital goods may be seized, but all offending property. It can be movable, it can be immovable. Books, records, computer, database, and everything that add or assist in the proceeding under the Act and in the protection of the government revenue, including furthering investigation may be seized. Again, the person from whom document and books of accounts are seized shall have the right to take the copy of the such document and books of things, but this is also the discretionary right of the officer. He has to take the approval of the officer, but if the officer feel that it is against the proceeding, they can deny also. Meaning thereby, suppose Mr. A has been searched and seized. A ka physical premises has been searched and then seized. The document, books, things, etc. A like to take the copy of the books of accounts. Officer may allow, or officer if feel that it is not correct in the proceeding, then he may deny also. Confiscation of the goods. As per section 130, goods become liable to be confiscated when any person does the following. क्या करता है? Supply or receive any goods in contravention of the provision, but only contravention is not sufficient. It is contravention with an intention to evade the payment of the tax. इसका मतलब क्या है? कोई भी सप्लाई या गुड्स रिसीव करता है with an intention to evade the taxes, does not account for the goods on which he is liable to pay the tax under this tax. He has not recorded in the books of accounts. Why? Because if he like to sell, so he has to pay the taxes. So he is thinking that without recording, he will sell without invoice. So what happened? Then the tax would be saved. Tax can be evaded. Supply the goods liable to be taxed without having applied for registration. He is liable to take registration, but not taken the registration. Contravene any of the provision of the CGST Act or the rules made thereunder with an intention to evade the payment of tax. Use any conveyance as means of transport for carries the goods in contravention of the provision of the Act or the rules made thereunder. Thereafter, or the rules made thereunder, unless the owner of the conveyance prove that it was so used without the knowledge or convenience of the owner himself, his agent, if any, and the person in charge of the conveyance. ठीक है, उसके बिना नॉलेज की हुई है तो बात अलग है. अदरवाइज अगर उसका कन्वेंस यूज हुआ है, देन ही विल ऑलवेज बी द it will always be covered in the section 130 for the confiscation. Sorry. Now there is one question. Let me take that question. Offending property means and difference between the written permission. It should be, it can be asked by the court of law also. Okay. And then second question was the offending property. Offending property. Let me go back and then explain the term offending property. So here they are saying not only input and capital goods. In the GST, we can say whatever we are purchasing, that can be input or capital goods. Suppose that can be seized. No, that is not limited. All offending property, movable or immovable. So they are using the premises in which the goods are stored. Such goods which are liable to be confiscated, even they can attach that property, the property which is being used for evasion of taxes. That is helping. So any truck which is being used for movement of the goods, which is liable to be confiscated, then that property can also be attached or that property can also be seized. An officer, power of the officer during the search. An officer carrying out a search has the power to search for and seize goods which are liable to be confiscated and document books, things relevant for any proceeding under the Act from the premises searched. An officer carrying out the search has the power to search for and seize goods. Namrata, is it okay? Clear na? You asked two questions. Is it clear? अगर नहीं है तो वापस पूछ लीजिए. Then officer carrying out the search has the power to search for and seize goods which are liable to be confiscation and document books, things relevant for any proceeding under the Act from the premises searched. However, if it is not the practicable to seize, अब property इतनी बड़ी है या machine इतनी बड़ी है, it cannot be seized practically, so it cannot be moved to the department, government premises. Then the same may be detained. तो वहां पर वो instruction issue करेंगे that it should not be moved without the prior permission. It will be in your premises. It will be under your control, but you will not deal in such goods without the prior permission of officer. He may order the owner or the custodian to not remove or part with the goods except with the permission of the officer. The person from whom these are seized shall be entitled to take the copy extract of the seized records in the presence of any authorized officer at a place and time indicated by the proper officer. Taking copy may be denied. As I told you that taking copy or extract of the books of accounts can be denied. जहां पर क्या लगता है? In the opinion of the officer, making such copies or taking such extract may prejudicially affect the investigation. जहां पर उनको ये लगता है कि ये गलत है, it can adversely affect the proceeding, then they can deny, otherwise they will allow. The person from whom may be denied, ठीक है, during search, the officer has the power to break open the doors of premises authorized to be searched if access is denied. So they have the power to access any premises. If the access are denied, then they can have the right to break the door. Similarly, while carrying out the search within the premises, they can break open any almirah, box, if access to such almirah or box is denied, in which goods accounts, register, document are suspected to be concealed. He can also seal the premises if access to it denied. Then the seized document, books, things shall be retained only till the time the same are required for examination, inquiry, proceeding. The problem is how much time they have to keep the books of accounts, etc. They are saying shall be retained till the time they are required for examination. But the time limit is not being fixed in the law. They have fixed 30 days ka time limit for not relied upon document. So normally the term are being used RUD, relied upon document. Suppose they have taken the copies of e-way bill. They have taken the copies of the GST R3B, copies of the GST R199C. These all documents are available with the officer. So if the officer feel that they are not relied upon document, so they can return the goods, or if document does not have any linkage with the proceeding, they can return the goods within 30 days from the issuance of the so-called notice. Then manner of releasing of confiscated goods and document. First is provisional basis. Seized goods shall be released on a provisional basis. But provisional basis पे कब release करेंगे? Bond plus security. And execution of the bond and furnishing of the prescribed amount of the security or on payment of applicable tax interest penalty. Then they are saying actual return of the goods. In case of the seizure, a notice has to be issued within 6 months. Notice has to be issued within 6 months. If no notice is issued within a period of 6 months, then all such goods shall be returned. However, this period of 6 months can be extended by another 6 months on sufficient cause being so. Then the provision is the disposal of the goods. See, first is the provisional release upon bond and security or actual payment of tax. Second is actual return of the goods. Within 6 months, they have to issue the notice, and if not issued the notice, then they have to return the goods. However, this 6 months can be extended by another period of 6 months. Disposal. The government may, having regard to the perishable or hazardous nature of any goods, depreciation in the value of the goods, with the passage of the time or constraint of the storage space, they do not have the sufficient space for keeping the goods or any other relevant consideration, notify the goods which shall be disposed by the proper officer in the prescribed manner. If during the search such specified goods has been seized, the officer shall prepare the inventory of the goods in the prescribed manner. Now, what is the procedure for conducting the search? To ensure that the provision for the search and seizure are implemented in the proper and transparent manner, the Act stipulates that search and seizure shall be carried out in accordance with the provision of the Criminal Procedure Code, CRPC. Section 100 of the Code of the Criminal Procedure describe the process for the search. What is the basic requirement for the search? No search shall be carried out without search warrant. There should invariably a lady officer accompanying the search team to the residence. अगर residence की search की जा रही, it means Can the residence be searched? The answer is yes. They can search any place of the business. They can search any place also, not necessarily it should be place of the business. They can even search the residence. But if they are going to the residence, then there has to be the lady officer. The officer, before starting the search, should disclose their identity by showing their ID card to the person in charge of the premises. Search warrant should be executed before start of the search by showing the same to the person in charge of the premises, and his signature should be taken on search warrant in token of having seen the same. So as in confirmation that उसने भी search warrant देख लिया है. Signature of the at least 2 witness should also be taken on the body of the search warrant. Search should be made in presence of at least 2 independent witnesses from the locality. If no such inhabitant are available or willing, the inhabitant of any other locality should be asked to be witness to the search. The witness should be briefed about the purpose of the search. Before the start of the search proceeding, the team of officer conducting the search and accompanying witness should offer for their personal search to the person in charge of the premises being searched. Similarly, after the completion, all the officer and witness should again offer themselves for their personal search. Panchanama of the proceeding of the search should necessarily be prepared on the spot. List of all goods, document recovered and seized should be prepared and annexed to the Panchanama or Majar. The Panchanama or Majar and the list of the goods seized, detained should invariably be signed by the witness, the in charge or owner of the premises, before whom the search is conducted, and also by the officer duly authorized for conducting the search. So कौन sign करेगा? The person in charge of that owner of the premises, then जितने भी witnesses हैं and officer. जैसे search over होती है, the search warrant duly executed should be returned in original to the issuing officer with the report regarding the outcome of search. Name of the officer who participated in the search may also be written on the reverse of search warrant. The issuing authority of the search warrant should maintain the register of records of search warrant issue and returned, and used search warrant should be kept in record. Copy of the Panchanama Majar along with its annexure should be given to the person in charge or owner being searched under acknowledgement. What are the content of search warrant? The written authority to conduct the search is generally called search warrant. The competent authority to issue search warrant is an officer of the rank of the Joint Commissioner or above. A search warrant must indicate the existence of the reasonable belief leading to the search. Search warrant should contain the following details: violation under the Act, premises to be searched, name and designation of the person authorized for search, name of the issuing officer with full designation along with his round seal, date and place of issue, serial number of search warrant, period of validity, that is a day or 2 day, etc. एक्चुअल रिटर्न ऑफ द गुड्स, प्लीज रिपीट, सॉरी मैंने थोड़ा लेट देखा, लेट मी गो बैक टू द एक्चुअल रिटर्न ऑफ द गुड्स. सी, if the goods has been seized, ठीक है, and no order has been issued, so within 6 months they have to issue the order for confiscation. They have to issue the order for confiscation. So confiscation means the ownership is being transferred from the department to the from the person to the actual government. From the actual owner to the government, the ownership is being shifted by the confiscation. But that proceeding should be within 6 months. If no notice has been served for confiscating that goods, then the goods which is seized has to be returned. And the time limit of 6 months can be extended by 6 more months. Clear? सो अभी हमने जो भी, एक बार थोड़ा सा क्विकली रिवीजन कर लेते हैं, लिटिल बिट 2-3 मिनट्स, ज्यादा नहीं. हमने अभी पढ़ा रिगार्डिंग दी सर्च वारंट. क्या डिस्कशन किया कि बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट क्या होनी चाहिए ड्यूरिंग द सर्च ऑपरेशन. कैन यू प्लीज टेल मी 1 or 2 पॉइंट? कैन यू प्लीज टेल मी 1 or 2 पॉइंट? क्या बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट है फॉर सर्च? कैन यू प्लीज टेल मी 1 or 2 पॉइंट द बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट ड्यूरिंग सर्च ऑपरेशन? पहली बात, एक सर्च वारंट होना चाहिए. दूसरा, लेडी ऑफिसर होनी चाहिए अगर रेजिडेंस को आप सर्च कर रहे हो, राइट. देन आईडी कार्ड उसको शो करना है. देन try to add 2-3 points. Please exactly sixth point. In sixth point in basic सिक्स पॉइंट का मतलब आप मुझे बताइए कौन से पेज पर है. सिक्स पॉइंट 1 2 3 4 5 6. टी, मतलब वो बोलेंगे भाई आप मुझे, एक सेकेंड, आप इस पॉइंट की बात कर रहे हैं, राइट? यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस पॉइंट. नम्रता एक बार कंफर्म करना तो मैं रिपीट कर दूं. एंड मीनवाइल आई रिक्वेस्ट एवरीवन, प्लीज ऐड. So before the start of the search, the team of the officer conducting the search and accompanying witness should offer for their personal search to the person in charge. भाई आप मुझे देख, मेरी जांच कर लो. सो ऐसा नहीं हो कि मैं कुछ मटेरियल लेके आऊं, लेट से आई एम ऑफिसर, तो यू शुड नॉट ब्लेम दैट आई हैव ब्रिंग समथिंग which is hazardous to the building, which is hazardous, something, weapons, let's say. So they should offer their personal search and witness should offer their personal search. To whom? To the person in charge of the premises. And similarly after completion. तो ऐसा नहीं कि मैं कुछ लेके जा रहा हूं आपके premises से. क्लियर है? दो विटनेस होने चाहिए, करेक्ट. पंचनामा होना चाहिए. जो भी वो गुड्स, जो भी वो गुड्स, दो विटनेस होने चाहिए, ये करेक्ट है. उसके बाद में सर्च वारंट पर क्या करना है? सिग्नेचर लेना है एज ए कंफर्मेशन की ठीक है उन्होंने वो सर्च वारंट देख लिया है. देन ऑल्सो जो विटनेस होंगे वो सेम लोकेलिटी के होंगे. अगर सेम लोकेलिटी के हानि करते तो क्या करेंगे? किसी पास की लोकेलिटी में से आएंगे. दो विटनेस जरूरी है और उनके भी सिग्नेचर लेंगे. और ये पर्सनल सर्च वाला जो पर्सनल सर्च है वो वाला पॉइंट हमने एक बार वापस डिस्कस कर लिया. पंचनामा प्रिपेयर बनाना है ऑन स्पॉट पर. जितने भी गुड्स डॉक्यूमेंट Correct, correct, correct. So then issuing authority should maintain the register of the record. बहुत बढ़िया. Copy of the पंचनामा and its annexes should be given to the person in charge. अच्छा, एक चीज बताइएगा मुझे. सी, सर्च वारंट का कंटेंट क्या क्या होगा? What should be the content of the search warrant? We have discussed. Just try to remember because this is entirely theory chapter. Nothing too much to explain. तो ट्राई करते हैं कि इसकी बेसिक प्रोविजन हमें याद हो जाए. व्हाट इज द सर्च वारंट का, व्हाट इज द कंटेंट ऑफ द सर्च वारंट? हाँ कीर्ति, ये वाला पॉइंट है. सर्च जैसे कंप्लीट हो जाते हैं वो सर्च वारंट रिटर्न करना है टू द इशूइंग ऑफिसर. अब कंटेंट क्या क्या होगा? दो चार कंटेंट आप बोलिए. ट्राई टू रिवाइज 2-3 कंटेंट, तो इस तरीके से याद हो जाएंगे अपने को कंटेंट. क्या क्या कंटेंट होगा? क्या चीज का वायलेशन है? कौन सी प्रीमाइजेस सर्च करनी है? हु इज द पर्सन ऑथराइज फॉर सर्च? कौन इश्यू करा, उसका पूरा नाम, डेजिग्नेशन, राउंड सेल, डेट एंड प्लेस ऑफ इश्यू, सीरियल नंबर ऑफ द वारंट एंड वैलिडिटी पीरियड, एक दिन, 2 दिन, एटसेट्रा. ठीक है. ये बातें हमने पढ़ी सर्च के रिगार्ड में. सर्च वारंट कैसा होना चाहिए, ड्यूरिंग द सर्च, क्या कॉमन बातें ध्यान में रखनी चाहिए. गुड्स कॉन्फिस्केशन और गुड्स के सीजर में क्या अंतर है? व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन सीजर ऑफ द गुड्स एंड कॉन्फिस्केशन ऑफ द गुड्स? एक सेक्शन हमने रीड किया था, सेक्शन 130. तो कॉन्फिस्केशन का डिस्कशन किया था, वो हम बात करेंगे अभी. बट फर्स्ट टेल मी द डिफरेंस बिटवीन सीजर ऑफ द गुड्स एंड कॉन्फिस्केशन ऑफ द गुड्स. डिफरेंस बिटवीन सीजर ऑफ द गुड्स एंड कॉन्फिस्केशन ऑफ द गुड्स. तो आप क्या कहेंगे कि सीजर में क्या है? फिजिकल पोजीशन, विद फिजिकल पोजीशन गवर्नमेंट के पास चली जाती है, बट द ऑनर वुड बी द एक्चुअल ऑनर. गवर्नमेंट वुड नॉट बी द ऑनर इन द सीजर ऑफ द गुड्स, बट कॉन्फिस्केशन में वो ऑनर बन जाती है. कौन? गवर्नमेंट. दैट इज द बेसिक डिफरेंस. सीजर के बाद में कितना टाइम लिमिट तक वो डिपार्टमेंट को कॉन्फिस्केशन का ऑर्डर इश्यू करना पड़ेगा? कॉन्फिस्केशन का उनको ऑर्डर इश्यू करना पड़ेगा विद इन टाइम, विद इन हाउ मच टाइम लिमिट? They have to issue the, not order, they have to issue the notice for confiscation within how many period, कि कितने महीने के अंदर उनको वो नोटिस इश्यू करना पड़ेगा फॉर कॉन्फिस्केशन. द आंसर इज 6 मंथ. अगर वो नहीं करते तो क्या होगा? लेट्स से दे हैव सीज द गुड्स एंड 6 मंथ हैज क्रॉस, दे हैव नॉट इशूड द नोटिस एंड दे हैव नॉट टेकन द एक्सटेंशन आल्सो. तो क्या होगा? व्हाट विल हैपन देन? नम्रता, सीजर मतलब ऑनरशिप. सपोज मिस्टर ए के गुड्स को सीज किया है डिपार्टमेंट ने, तो अगर सीज करके गुड्स लेके भी गए तो खाली फिजिकल पोजीशन गवर्नमेंट के पास गया है, ऑनरशिप अभी भी एक ही है, देन दे हैव टू इशू द नोटिस फॉर कॉन्फिस्केशन विद इन 6 मंथ। तो जैसे ही वो कॉन्फिस्केट कर लेंगे गुड्स को, सीज अभी भी उनके पास में, कॉन्फिस्केशन के बाद भी उनके पास ही रहेगा, बट द डिफरेंस बिटवीन आफ्टर कॉन्फिस्केशन द गवर्नमेंट वुड बिकम द ऑनर ऑफ द गुड्स विच दे कैन डिस्पोज ऑफ, सेल एटसेट्रा। ठीक है, क्लियर है राइट? और गुड्स को प्रोविजनली कब रिलीज किया जा सकता है? व्हेन द ऑफिसर विल रिलीज द गुड्स प्रोविजनली। गुड्स को प्रोविजनली कब रिलीज किया जा सकता है? ऑन बॉन्ड एंड सिक्योरिटी और एक्चुअल पेमेंट ऑफ द टैक्स इंटरेस्ट पेनल्टी प्रोविजनली रिलीज हो जाएगा। Certain safeguards are provided in Section 67 in respect to the power of power of search or seizure. क्या safeguard है? Seized goods should not be retained beyond the period necessary for their examination. Photocopies can be taken by the person from whose custody documents are seized. For seized goods, if the notice is not issued within 6 months, then it shall be returned to the person from whose possession it was seized. The period of 6 months can be extended on the justified ground up to a further period of maximum 6 months. Certain स्पेसिफाइड कैटेगरीज ऑफ द गुड्स, क्या क्या अभी हमने डिस्कशन किया कि सीज गुड्स मतलब रीजनेबल पीरियड बियॉन्ड द पीरियड नेसेसरी फॉर द एग्जामिनेशन, ठीक है, फोटोकॉपी शुड बी परमिटेड। देन अगर 6 मंथ तक कॉन्फिस्केशन का नोटिस इशू नहीं किया तो सीज गुड्स रिटर्न करना पड़ेगा और ये पीरियड 6 मंथ तक और एक्सटेंड किया जा सकता है। सर्टेन स्पेसिफाइड कैटेगरी ऑफ द गुड्स सच एज पेरिसेबल, हजार्डस कैन बी डिस्पोज्ड ऑफ immediately after seizure, ठीक है। फॉर इंस्टेंस न्यूज़पेपर, periodical, menthol, camphor, saffron, petroleum product, red sandal, cells, batteries, rechargeable batteries, refills, ballpoint pens, an inventory of the goods if seized shall be made by the seizing officer. ठीक है, the provision of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973 relating to search seizure shall apply. However, one important modification is in relation to the 165 subsection 5. What is that? Instead of sending the copies of any record made in the course of search to the nearest magistrate empowered to take the cognizance of the offense, it has to be sent to the प्रिंसिपल कमिश्नर और कमिश्नर ऑफ द सीजीएसटी, दैट्स इट। मजिस्ट्रेट की जगह वो कॉपी किसके पास में जाएगी? वो कॉपी किसके पास में जाएगी? कॉपी जाएगी प्रिंसिपल कमिश्नर, दैट इज द ओनली चेंज। अदरवाइज द कोड ऑफ क्रिमिनल प्रोसीजर का जो भी प्रोविजन है दैट प्रोविजन विल बी अप्लाइड ड्यूरिंग द सर्च एंड सीजर। नाउ so provision related to section 67 is done, completed. Now section 68, inspection of the goods in the movement. It says that inspection can be carried out of a conveyance carrying a consignment of value exceeding a specified limit. Can anybody tell me what is the limit? Can anybody tell me क्या लिमिट है? inspection can also be carried out of the conveyance carrying a consignment value exceeding a specified limit. The person in charge of the conveyance has to produce prescribed document or device for the verification and allow the inspection. E-way bill has been prescribed for the said purpose. The same has already been discussed in the chapter 10, that is accounts records E-way bill. Inspection during transit can be carried out even without authorization of the joint commissioner. ठीक है. So I think आपने already chapter 10 तो discuss कर ही लिया होगा. So you have already read the provision of the E-way bill. What is the limit? E-way bill की limit क्या है? Just asking one or two question with respect to E-way bill. Dispose मतलब sold off, right? So what is the limit of E-way bill? 2-3 question I will ask with respect to E-way bill. Then we'll move to the section 69. What is the limit of E-way bill? कि E-way bill बनाना जरूरी है. कब बनाना जरूरी है E-way bill? आंसर इज 50,000. कोई भी ऐसा सिचुएशन कि अगर वैल्यू एक्सीड नहीं करती 50,000 तब भी आपको ई-वे बिल बनाना मैंडेटरी है. कैन यू टेल मी द मैंडेटरी सिचुएशन व्हेन even the value does not exceed 50,000 you need to prepare the e-way bill? Like principal to job worker, correct? Principal to job worker, and then the casual taxable person moving the handicraft goods, correct? So there are certain provision in which e-way bill is mandatory even without crossing the threshold limit. Power to arrest, section 69. What is the provision of section 69? The term arrest has not been defined in the GST. However, as per the judicial pronouncement, it's denote that taking into the custody of the person under some lawful command or authority. In other words, the person said to be arrested when he is taken and restrained of his liberty by power or color of lawful warrant. Arrest can be carried out only where the person is accused of the offense is specified for this purpose and tax amount involved is more than specified limit. तो पहला क्या, जो ऑफेंस स्पेसिफाइड है वो, एंड उसमें भी जितना टैक्स अमाउंट है स्पेसिफाइड लिमिट से ज्यादा, देन द पर्सन कैन बी अरेस्टेड. There's a difference between arrest and prosecution. Arrest means even ड्यूरिंग द ट्रायल ऑफ द केस, केस चल रहा है उसके बीच में भी पर्सन को अरेस्ट कर सकते हैं. कब? इफ द ऑफेंस आर स्पेसिफाइड वन एंड द क्वांटम ऑफ द इवेजन और क्वांटम ऑफ द टैक्स इज मोर देन स्पेसिफाइड लिमिट. सो ऑफेंस स्पेसिफाइड होना चाहिए प्लस उसका क्वांटम स्पेसिफाइड होना चाहिए, इतना ग्रेटर देन सम लिमिट वी विल डिस्कस. उससे अगर ज्यादा है then the person can be directly arrested even during that trial. और imprisonment का मतलब क्या होता है? imprisonment का मतलब होता है कि आफ्टर द ट्रायल मजिस्ट्रेट विल अनाउंस कि कितना इसको imprisonment देना है, कितनी सजा है इसकी. So this is the difference between arrest and imprisonment. Now, Further, the arrest under the GST can be made only under authorization from the commissioner. Whenever the commissioner has reason to believe that any person has committed any specified offense, what is the specified offense? We will discuss in section 132. He can authorize any other officer subordinate to him to arrest such person. Various offenses committed in connection with the evasion of the tax are punishable with imprisonment. For some offense liable to more number of the year of imprisonment, the offender has to be prosecuted before appropriate court. The nature which are thus punishable with imprisonment are prescribed in section 132. Now the commissioner can authorize an officer to arrest a person if he has reason to believe that person has committed an offense attracting a punishment prescribed under 132. 132 में क्या है? 132 subsection 1 पहला offense clause A, clause B, clause C and the clause D. So there are the four offenses. What are the four offenses? Supplied the goods without invoice. Supply the goods without invoice. Second, he has issued the invoice without supply the goods. He has issued the invoice but no movement of the goods, no supply the goods. Taken the ITC on the basis of this invoice. And tax collected but not paid beyond a period of 3 months. Tax collected and not paid beyond a period of 3 months. So this is the category of the offense. But what is the quantification? We will discuss. It says that commissioner can authorize an officer to arrest a person if he has reason to believe that person has committed an offense attracting the punishment prescribed in 132(1) A, B, C, D or under 132(2). 132(2) is covered repeat offender. मतलब जिसने एक बार मिस्टेक की है, जिसने फर्स्ट टाइम मिस्टेक की है एंड प्लस विद अमाउंट ग्रेटर देन 2 crore, then it will be directly arrested. And if it is a repeat offender, वो कोई भी मिस्टेक वापस रिपीट करता है with no limit, कितनी की भी ऑफेंस रिपीट करता है, कितना भी अमाउंट उसमें इन्वॉल्व हो, then he will be covered under 132(2). The provision relating to 132 have been discussed in detail in offense and penalty and ethical aspect under GST. So it will be covered by the in the chapter 21 probably. This essentially means that a person can be arrested only where the tax evasion is more than 2 crore. However, the monetary limit not applicable if it is a repeat offense. मतलब एक बार कन्विक्ट किया तब तो मैं 2 crore का, तब तो ऑफिसर 2 crore का अमाउंट देखेगा, अगर उससे ज्यादा है तो इट कैन बी अरेस्टेड. बट अगर सेकेंड टाइम ऑफेंस कमिट कर रहा है विद नो लिमिट, कितना भी छोटा भी लिमिट हो तब भी वो अरेस्ट हो सकता है. दिस इज बीइंग कवर्ड इन 132(2). We'll try to read 132 also. That is, repeat offender of the specified can be arrested irrespective of the tax amount involved in the case. Is it okay if I will talk about section 132, which is not the coverage of this chapter, but still I feel that it should be discussed to have the ample clarity on this section 69. I hope it is okay. एक बार कोई भी कंफर्म कर सकते हैं. So that let me move to the 10 मिनट लगेगा, 5 मैक्सिमम. ठीक है. So see, what is the linkage of section 132 with section 69? See, 132 are talking about certain offenses. 132 are talking about certain offenses, correct? But only four offenses, clause A, clause B, clause C, and the clause D, plus, which are punishable by subclause 1 and subclause 2. अगर ये कॉम्बिनेशन है तो दिस विल बी गेट कवर्ड इन द सेक्शन 69. ये नेचर ऑफ ऑफेंस हो गया और ये क्वांटिफिकेशन ऑफ टैक्स अमाउंट हो गया. ये ग्रेटर देन 5 करोड़ की बात करता है और ये ग्रेटर देन 2 करोड़ की बात करता है. तो हम क्या कहते हैं? वी आर सेइंग दैट पावर टू अरेस्ट will get attracted if the amount is more than 2 crore. Why? Because clause 2 is covered. Talking about this component. We'll discuss. Let me move further. 132. 132 is talking about punishment for certain offenses. Whoever commit or goes to commit and retain the benefit arising out of the following offense. Which offense? Clause A, supplying the goods but without issuing the invoice in violation of the provision with the intention to evade the tax. मतलब मैं goods तो move कर रहा हूं but I am not I'm supplying the goods but I am not giving any invoice with an intention to evade the taxes. Second, इसका just opposite, invoice issue कर रहा हूं but not supplying the goods. It means I can say fake invoicing. करेक्ट. इस फेक इनवॉइसिंग के बेस पर रिसिपिएंट ने आईटीसी अवेल किया है. एंड फोर्थ इज कलेक्ट एनी अमाउंट एज टैक्स बट फेल टू पे द सेम बियॉन्ड ए पीरियड ऑफ 3 months. मैंने टैक्स के नाम पर कलेक्ट कर लिया कस्टमर से और वो अमाउंट डिपॉजिट नहीं किया. कितना अमाउंट? अभी तक हम नेचर कैटेगरी ऑफ ऑफेंस की बात कर रहे हैं. क्वांटिफिकेशन वी विल डिस्कस इन द क्लॉज 1, क्लॉज सब क्लॉज 2. देयर आर फर्दर ऑफेंस ऑल्सो बट उनके लिए सेक्शन 69 अट्रैक्ट नहीं होगा. व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन सेक्शन 69 पावर टू अरेस्ट एंड नॉर्मल इंप्रिजनमेंट? ओनली डिफरेंस, द पर्सन कैन बी अरेस्टेड ड्यूरिंग द ट्रायल ऑफ द केस. मतलब केस अभी कंक्लूड नहीं हुआ है. He was not guilty of the particular offense, but even without guilty, he can be arrested. That is the meaning of arrest. But imprisonment only after conclusion of the case. जब ये decide हो जाता है, जब ये prove हो जाता है कि that Mr. A is the guilty, then the magistrate will give the order. कितना term of imprisonment होगा, कितना fine होगा, etc. ये डिफरेंस है. इट मीन्स फॉर रेस्ट ऑफ द क्लॉज, क्लॉज ए, क्लॉज बी, क्लॉज सी, क्लॉज डी, दिस सेक्शन 69 is linked with this. But what about the other provision? Let me read the other provision because here arrest will not work, but yes, but imprisonment is there. Evade the tax or fraudulently obtain the refund where such offense is not covered under clause A to D. Falsify or substitute the financial records, produce fake account or document or things, or furnishing false information. Purpose क्या है? With the intention to evade the payment of tax. Acquire, possession or in any way concern himself. किसमें? Transportation में, depositing, keeping, concealing, supplying or purchasing or any other manner in which he will deal with any goods. कौन से goods? Which he know or has reason to believe are liable to be confiscated under this act. Then receive or is in any way concerned with the supply or in any other manner deal with the supply of service. कौन सी service? Which you know or reason to believe that are in contravention. अटेम्प्ट और अबेट द कमीशनिंग. अबेट का मतलब क्या होगा? सपोर्ट करना. ही इज सपोर्टिंग द ऑफेंसेज. Mr. B, who is not committing the offense but is supporting the offense which is discussed above, any of the offense mentioned in the clause A to F and H and I. तो अगर कोई अटेम्प्ट कर रहा है, मतलब उसने कमिट नहीं किया बट अटेम्प्ट कर रहा है, लेकिन ट्राई किया उसने, या उसने ट्राई भी नहीं किया लेकिन किसी दूसरे को सपोर्ट कर रहा है, इन दैट केस ही विल आल्सो बी कवर्ड इन द 132. अब यहां पर तो नेचर ऑफ ऑफेंस की बात थी, अब यहां पर क्वांटिफिकेशन की बात हो रही है. क्लॉज 1 सेज दैट इन केस वेयर द टैक्स इवेडेड or amount of the ITC wrongly availed, utilized, or refund wrongly taken exceed 5 crore, 500 lakhs. Here, imprisonment can be 5 years plus fine up to 5 years. We will decide exact year, magistrate. In case where the amount of the tax evaded or amount of the ITC wrongly availed or utilized or the amount of the refund wrongly taken exceed 200 lakhs. So यहाँ पे क्या हुआ, 2 करोड़. Then the imprisonment would be 3 years and fine. Up to 3 years. We will decide, again magistrate will decide. What is my point? We were reading section 69 and section 69 says, if the offense are covered in 132 subsection 1 clause A, clause B, clause C and the clause D, plus it is punishable with subclause 1 and subclause 2. It means either more than 5 crore or more than 2 crore. Then that person can be arrested instead of imprisonment. ये बात क्लियर हुई ना, एक बार कंफर्म करना. This point is clear na, very important. This interlinking is very important with 132, 4 plus 2, जो ये 4 कैटेगरी ऑफ ऑफेंस है, फिर सब क्लॉज है, इसको लिंक करके सेक्शन 69 का अंडरस्टैंडिंग करना होता है. आई होप आई हैव ट्राइड माय बेस्ट, बट अगर किसी को डाउट है आई कैन डिस्कस विद अगेन, नो प्रॉब्लम. बट एक अदरवाइज आप कंफर्म कर दीजिए, यस सर इट इज क्लियर. ठीक है, थैंक यू. अब एक बार वापस डिस्कस करते हैं. इसमें ना कॉग्निजेंस कॉग्निजेबल ऑफेंस है कि नॉन कॉग्निजेबल ऑफेंस है, उसका भी डिस्कशन करते हैं, बिकॉज इट इज कवर्ड इन योर पर्टिकुलर दिस चैप्टर विच आई एम रीडिंग. नाउ दैट third point, third clause, it says that in the case of an offense is specified in clause B, it means fake invoicing, where the amount of the tax evaded or amount of the ITC wrongly availed or utilized is greater than 100 lakh, means 1 crore. Only in case of the fake invoicing, only in case of the fake invoicing, imprisonment को अगर डिफॉल्ट 1 करोड़ से ज्यादा भी है ना, तब भी उसको imprisonment कैटेगरी में रखा है. फॉर एनी अदर ऑफेंसेज ऑफ 132, the imprisonment can be there only when the quantum of the tax evaded is 2 crore or more, greater than 2 crore. 2 करोड़ से कम पर कब इंप्रिजनमेंट हो सकता है? ओनली इन केस ऑफ द क्लॉज बी, दैट इज फेक इनवॉइसिंग, इश्यूइंग द इनवॉइस बट विदाउट सप्लाइंग द गुड्स. Imprisonment up to 1 year and with fine. In case where he commit or abet the commissioning on of an offense specified in the clause F. What is the clause F? Let me go and see. Falsify or substitute the financial record or produce fake account or document or furnishing any false information, etc., with an intention to evade the payment of taxes. Correct? So, in case of an offense that we have read, uh, in case of in case where he commit or abet the commissioning of an offense, clause F, that falsify the record, he shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term of 6 months or with fine or both. Where any person convicted, so 132.2 is also covered in the section 69. Repeat offender, correct? Any person convicted of an offense under this section or is again convicted by an offense under this section, मतलब repeat offend कर रहा है, वो mistake repeat कर रहा है, then he shall be punishable for second and for every subsequent offense with imprisonment which may extend to 5 years. यहां पर ऑलवेज अप टू 5 ईयर की बात की है, मतलब हायर वाला स्लैब दिया है क्योंकि रिपीट ऑफेंडर है. एंड व्हाट वी हैव डिस्कस इन सेक्शन 69, गो बैक. हमने क्या पढ़ा था सेक्शन 69 में? A commissioner can authorize an officer to arrest the person if he has reason to believe that the person has committed an offense attracting the punishment prescribed in 132(1) clause A, clause B, clause C, clause D, or under section 32, 132 subsection 2, that is repeat. तो ऑफेंस कौन सा कर रहा है? ये वाला 4 या रिपीट ऑफेंस कर रहा है. दूसरा, then this essentially means that a person can be arrested only when the tax evasion is more than 2 crore. क्यों more than 2 crore? क्योंकि हमने क्या डिस्कस किया था, क्लॉज 1 या क्लॉज 2 में कवर है. क्लॉज 1 ग्रेटर देन 5 करोड़ की बात करता है और क्लॉज 2 ग्रेटर देन 2 करोड़ की बात करता है. However, the monetary limit shall not be applicable if the offense are committed again, that is repeat offender. I hope clear है सबको ना. Now, safeguard for a person who is placed under arrest. There are certain safeguard under section 69 for a person who is placed under arrest. These are, if a person is arrested for a cognizable. अच्छा, तो पहले मुझे आपको कॉग्निजेबल और नॉन कॉग्निजेबल के बारे में बात करना होगा एंड देन आई कैन रीड दिस. तो एक बार ऐसा करते हैं, 15 मिनट का ब्रेक ले लेते हैं. लेट्स टेक ए ब्रेक ऑफ 15 मिनट टिल 7:30 एंड हम 7:30 पर रिज्यूम करेंगे. पहले मैं आपको कॉग्निजेबल और नॉन कॉग्निजेबल ऑफेंस बताऊंगा एंड देन वी विल रीड दिस प्रोविजन. सो फाइन, अशोक जी एक बार स्टार्ट कर दीजिए ब्रेक. So let me discuss first the cognizable offense and non-cognizable offense. Let me go again to the section 132. 132 subsection 4 and subsection 5. Not, see, first read this subsection 5. Offense is specified in the clause A, clause B, clause C, and the clause D. 4 offenses. It means the goods has been supplied without cover of invoice. Invoice has been issued without supply of the goods. ITC has been taken on that invoice. And the fourth is collected but not paid beyond a period of 3 months. Tax collected but not paid beyond a period of 3 months. And punishable under clause 1. Please note, here clause 2 is not added. That subsection shall be cognizable and non-bailable. पहला मुझे बताइए clause 1 में कितना quantification था? First tell me in the clause 1 कितना quantification of tax default था? कितना करोड़ से अगर ज्यादा है then it will be covered by the clause 1. Right, Kirti. Conclusion, imprisonment after concluding of the case. Right. So my question is that clause 1, it means greater than how much amount? Greater than 1 crore, greater than 50 lakh, greater than 6 crore, greater than 5 crore, greater than 2 crore. Kitna quantification? It means if the offense are first 4 category, which is same as covered in the section 69, but amount is only clause 1, matlab greater than 5 crore. Greater than 5 crore. If this is the case, then the offense would be cognizable and non-bailable. Cognizable का मतलब क्या होता है? Serious in the nature. Serious offense है. Non-bailable means bail will never be granted. No, it is not that meaning. Non-bailable and bailable. The difference between this, the bailable offense are such in which bail would be granted by the arresting person. जिस पर्सन ने अरेस्ट किया है, जिस ऑफिसर ने अरेस्ट किया है, वो खुद बेल दे सकता है, देन दैट इज कॉल्ड एज ए बेलेबल ऑफेंस. नॉन बेलेबल ऑफेंस मींस अरेस्टिंग ऑफिसर के पास में राइट नहीं है. बेल मिल सकती है लेकिन उसके लिए उसको मजिस्ट्रेट के पास जाना पड़ेगा. In the bailable offense, bail would be granted. In the non-bailable offense, also bail would be granted. What is the difference? Bailable means bail would be granted by the arresting officer, and non-bailable means bail would be granted by the magistrate, not by the arresting officer. This is the difference. Cognizable means serious in the nature, and non-cognizable means less serious in the nature. They are saying because of the first 4 type of the offense and amount is huge, greater than 5 crore, then they are saying it is non-bailable plus cognizable. And they are saying, notwithstanding anything contained, all offense under this X except this one are cognizable, are non-cognizable and bailable. क्या मतलब हुआ कि इस ऑफेंस को छोड़ दीजिए, इसके अलावा जितने भी ऑफेंस है, इसका मतलब 132 के एबीसीडी को छोड़ दीजिए, ए से लेके लास्ट तक, ठीक है, या 132 ABCD भी, but either it is covered in the clause 2 or it is covered in the clause 3, less than 5 crore, then they all offense are non-cognizable and bailable. एक छोटा सा चार्ट आपके साथ डिस्कशन करना चाहूंगा मैं, इंपॉर्टेंट है. 132(1) A, B, C, and D plus 132.2, then plus covered under the clause 1 and covered under the clause 2, and here any amount. It is the provision of section 69. Person can be arrested directly, correct? Now, if the offense are 132, 1 ABCD and covered in the clause 1, so it is cognizable or non-cognizable? It is cognizable or non-cognizable? Is it cognizable or non-cognizable? Is it cognizable or non-cognizable? Kirti, just 2 minutes. I was supposed to discuss this one only. Kirti, just 2 minutes. I was supposed to discuss this one only. So I can say 130 to 1. एक बार क्वांटिफिकेशन कितना है? ग्रेटर देन 5 करोड़. तब क्या होगा? अप टू 5 ईयर का इंप्रिजनमेंट, अप टू 5 ईयर का इंप्रिजनमेंट प्लस फाइन. वो विल डिसाइड द फाइन? Magistrate. Who will decide the actual quantum of the imprisonment? Magistrate. In the clause 2, we have discussed greater than 2 crore. Then what is the fine? Up to 3 years plus fine. What is the imprisonment? Up to 3 years. And what is the fine? Plus fine, but it will be decided by the magistrate. Now, any amount, then what is the imprisonment? Up to 5 years. Now, if you see that in the 132 subsection 5, be careful. I'm doing this analysis. Try to understand the same. 132.5 is this one. 132.1 ABCD plus only greater than 5 crore, which is up to 5 year and fine. And this is cognizable but non-bailable plus non-bailable. What is the term? Up to 5 year of imprisonment. 132.2, 132.2, is it covered in 132.5? Is it covered in 132.5? Let's read once again. 132.5 is saying the offense is specified in the clause A, B, C, D of subsection 1. That's it. And punishable with clause 1 means greater than 5 saal ki saza. Greater than 5 crore, then up to 5 year and fine. Imprisonment up to 5 year and fine. It means in the 132.2, it means in the 132.2, even though the imprisonment period are same as discussed in 132.1 ABCD plus clause 1, same, but it says that it is non-cognizable and bailable. Non-cognizable and bailable. Why so? Because cognizable and bailable are given in the 132.5. Cognizable and bailable are given in the 132.5, and rest are covered in the 132.4. And 132.4 is the non-cognizable and bailable. 132.5 covered only first 4 offense ABCD. That's it. Whether subsection 2 are also covered in 132.5? No, it is not covered. It means it is covered in the rest of the provision, and rest all are non-cognizable and bailable. एक बार confirm करें, this comparison is clear to you or not? What are the cognizance offense, cognizable offense? Which offense are non-cognizable? What is the difference between repeat offense and first offense regarding the cognizance and regarding the non-cognizance? ये पूरा point clear हुआ ना आपको? एक बार confirm करना. Is it clear now? All everything is clear. If you have any doubt, kindly ask. ठीक है? Shall we proceed? Clear na? Great. Crystal clear. Thank you. Fine. So that we will discuss. Fine. That you can discuss in the chapter 21. Let me move to the again that chapter. It says that safeguard for a person who is placed under arrest. There are certain safeguards provided under section 69 for a person who is placed under arrest. These are, if the person is arrested for a cognizable offense, he must be informed in writing of the ground of arrest and he must be produced before the magistrate within 24 hours. मतलब ये रिक्वायरमेंट है. अगर किसी को आप अरेस्ट करते हो, मतलब अगर ऑफिसर किसी को अरेस्ट करता है बिकॉज ऑफ सेक्शन 69, तो विद इन 24 आवर ही हैज टू बी प्रोड्यूस्ड बिफोर द मजिस्ट्रेट for cognizable offense. For non-cognizable and bailable offense, the deputy commissioner or assistant commissioner can release on the bail. यही तो डिफरेंस था ना. दैट वाज द डिफरेंस. कॉग्निजेबल एंड नॉन कॉग्निजेबल, बेलेबल एंड नॉन बेलेबल. बेलेबल में कौन बेल ग्रांट करेगा? मजिस्ट्रेट. तो इन्होंने कह दिया कि विद इन 24 आवर्स ही हैज टू प्रोड्यूस बिफोर द मजिस्ट्रेट. एंड नॉन बेलेबल ऑफेंस में, बेलेबल ऑफेंस में the deputy commissioner or assistant commissioner can himself release on the bail and he will be subject to the same provision as an officer in charge of the police station for the purpose of section 436 of the code of the criminal procedure. Because code of the criminal procedure में इस provision में लिखा गया officer in charge of the police station can release the person on bail. All arrest must be in accordance with code of criminal procedure relating to arrest. Section 132 also prescribes which type of the offense are cognizable and non-bailable and which type of the offense are non-cognizable and bailable. Now we have discussed in length. Okay. What is the meaning of cognizable? Let me discuss. What is the meaning of cognizable? Generally, cognizable offense means serious offense in respect of which a police officer has the authority to make the arrest without a warrant and to start an investigation with or without the permission of the court. पहला बात, non-cognizable are relatively less serious in the nature, in respect of which police officer does not have the authority to make the arrest without warrant and an investigation cannot be initiated without the court order. Cognizable and non-cognizable offense under CGST Act Section 132 provide that the offense relating to taxable goods and or services where the amount of the tax evaded, amount of the ITC wrongly availed or utilized, or the amount of the refund wrongly taken exceed 5 crore shall be cognizable and non-bailable. In case the bail can be considered, in this case, the bail can be considered only by the magistrate. Okay. Other offenses are non-cognizable and bailable, and all arrested persons shall be released on bail by the deputy commissioner or the assistant commissioner. Precaution during the arrest. The provision of the code of the criminal procedure relating to arrest and the procedure thereof must be adhered in all situations amounting to arrest. It is therefore necessary that all field officers of the CGST be fully familiar with the code of criminal procedure. What is the reason? Because they are seeing the provision of the code of the criminal procedure relating to arrest and procedure thereof must be adhere in all the situation amounting to arrest. तो सेक्शन 69 ऑफ सीजीएसटी एक्ट किसके अकॉर्डिंग होगा? कोड ऑफ क्रिमिनल प्रोसीजर के प्रोविजन के अकॉर्डिंग होगा. तो इन्होंने कहा जीएसटी के जितने भी ऑफिसर है जो ये अरेस्ट का काम कर रहे हैं, who are doing this, attracting this provision 69 should be familiar with the relevant provision of the code of criminal procedure. One important provision to be taken note that section 57 of the CRPC, which provide that a person arrested without warrant shall not be detained for a period longer than, under the circumstances the case is reasonable, but they shall not exceed 24 hours. Maximum 24 hours तक without warrant तक आप arrest कर सकते हैं, and excluding the journey time from the place of the arrest to the magistrate court, क्योंकि 24 hours में उसे प्रोड्यूस करना पड़ेगा. Within this period, as provided to section 56, the person making the arrest shall send the person so arrested without warrant before the magistrate having the jurisdiction in this case. Now, guideline for arrest. The decision to arrest need to be taken on case-to-case basis, considering the various factors: nature of the offense, gravity, quantum of the duty evaded or credit wrongfully availed, nature and quality of evidence, possibility of evidence being tampered with or witness being influenced, cooperation with the investigation. The power to arrest has to be exercised after careful consideration of the fact of the case, which may include to ensure proper investigation of the offense. To एक बार वापस रीड करते हैं. आई थिंक let me read once again. The decision to arrest need to be taken on case to case basis depending upon the nature, gravity, quantum, etc. ठीक है. The power to arrest has to be exercised after careful consideration of the fact of the case, which may include कौन कौन से? To ensure proper investigation of the offense. To prevent that person from absconding, mastermind or key operator affecting proxy and benami properties, benami import and export, in the name of the dummy or non-existent person, IC, etc. Mastermind or key operator affecting the proxy, benami imports or export, in the name of the dummy or non-existence, IC, etc. ठीक है. Where the intent to evade the duty is evident and element of mens rea. What is the mens rea? Mens rea means guilty mind is palpable. मतलब mens rea means the presence of guilty mind. It means some non-compliance is being done, but with the presence of mens rea, where the intent is evident and element of the mens rea is present. What was the difference in section 73 and 74? You remember we have discussed yesterday. 73 there are the 5 mistakes. 74 there are the same mistake. But what is the difference? Here the intention was not incorrect. Here the intention was malified. Here the intention was okay. Here the intention was of the fraud. It means यहां पर जो ऑफेंस किया जा रहा है, यहां पर जो भी ऑफेंस है, दैट वाज विद मेंस रिया. नॉर्मली मेंस रिया एक जो वर्ड यूज होता है वो टैक्स लॉज में नहीं होता, क्रिमिनल लॉ में यूज होता है. मेंस रिया मींस नॉर्मली जो ये मेंस रिया वाला वर्ड है ना, दैट इज यूज्ड बीइंग इन द क्रिमिनल लॉ, नॉट इन दिस सिविल लॉ, दैट इज टैक्सेशन. बट समटाइम टैक्सेशन लॉ में भी इसको यूज किया जाता है जहां पे वर्ड है फ्रॉड, विलफुल मिसस्टेटमेंट, सप्रेशन ऑफ द फैक्ट, malified intention like this. Then they are mean that it is talking about the presence of mens rea, malified intention. प्रिवेंशन ऑफ द पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ टेम्परिंग विद एविडेंस, तो उसका लगता है कि अगर उसको अरेस्ट नहीं किया तो ये एविडेंस को टेम्पर कर सकता है। एंड इंटीमेटिंग और इन्फ्लुएंसिंग विटनेस, तो इन्फ्लुएंस को इफेक्ट कर सकते हैं, मतलब विटनेस को इफेक्ट कर सकते हैं लार्ज अमाउंट ऑफ द इवेजन ऑफ द टैक्स। सो एक बार मुझे दो तीन चीजें आप लोग बता दीजिए, दो तीन चीजें आप मुझे बता दीजिए कि रिपीट ऑफेंस के लिए, रिपीट ऑफेंस के लिए क्वांटम कितने से ज्यादा है, देन इट कैन बी अरेस्टेड अंडर सेक्शन 69। For the person who is doing the repeat offense, then the quantum of the default is greater than how much rupees, then he can be arrested directly. राइट, राइट मानसा, राइट, आपका वो पॉइंट जो आपने आंसर दिया दैट इज एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट। एक दो क्वेश्चन का आंसर दे दीजिए आप मुझे कि रिपीट ऑफेंस कितने अमाउंट से ज्यादा है, देन इट कैन बी ग्रेट, इट कैन बी कवर्ड इन द सेक्शन 69 पावर टू अरेस्ट। आंसर इज नो लिमिट, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट, आंसर इज नो लिमिट। 132(2) जो रिपीट ऑफेंडर है, रिपीट ऑफेंस है, विच इज ऑलवेज पनिशेबल विद ग्रेटर देन 5 crore, इज इट कॉग्निजेबल एंड नॉन बेलेबल, और इज इट नॉन कॉग्निजेबल एंड बेलेबल? किस टाइप का ऑफेंस है ये? कॉग्निजेबल एंड नॉन बेलेबल, ग्रेटर देन 5 years, सॉरी, अप टू 5 years, छोड़ो 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 छोड़ो, अप टू 5 years, जिसमें इंप्रिजनमेंट अप टू 5 years तक का है, एंड फाइन। Is it cognizable or non-bailable, or is it non-cognizable and bailable? Right answer is B, non-cognizable and bailable. In case of the bailable offense, in case of the bailable offense, who will grant the bail? Bail कौन grant करेगा? Who will grant the bail? कौन bail grant करेगा? In case of bailable offense, who will grant the bail? Magistrate or some other person? Or means officer having the rank of that, something like that. Who will grant the bail? Magistrate or some other person having the rank? You have to specify. रैंक बताइए, व्हाट इज द डेजिग्नेशन? यस, मोर क्वेश्चन। Okay, you mean to say I should ask some more question, is it? I should ask more question, is it? Yes, Kirti is right. Deputy commissioner or assistant commissioner. Now, please tell me, कितने टाइम में, कितने टाइम में मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने प्रोड्यूस करना पड़ता है इन केस ऑफ नॉन बेलेबल ऑफेंस? इन केस ऑफ द नॉन बेलेबल ऑफेंस कितने टाइम के अंदर मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने प्रोड्यूस करना पड़ता है? The person who is arrested in case of the non-bailable offense. इन केस ऑफ द नॉन बेलेबल ऑफेंस कितने टाइम में प्रोड्यूस करना पड़ता है? कितने टाइम में प्रोड्यूस करना पड़ता है? आंसर इज 24 आवर्स, एक्सक्लूडिंग ट्रैवलिंग टाइम. एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. नाउ अभी के लिए लास्ट क्वेश्चन है एंड देन विल मूव टू द स्टडी मटेरियल. विल आस्क द क्वेश्चन अगेन, नो प्रॉब्लम. आई विल आस्क मल्टीपल क्वेश्चन एज यूजुअल. We have discussed that first four offense under 132 subsection 1. Please tell me the name of all the four offenses: clause A, clause B, clause C, and the clause D. You have to tell me the name of the all four offenses. 132 1 का A, 1 का B, 1 का C and 1 का D. वो चार कौन से ऑफेंसेस जो कि 132 1 में कवर है? ये एक अच्छा क्वेश्चन है. एक क्वेश्चन और ऐड कर रहा हूं. अच्छा क्वेश्चन है बट एक बार आप आंसर करेंगे तो उसके बाद ये मैं क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछूंगा. इट हैज थ्री क्वेश्चन. ठीक है, तो ये क्वेश्चन मैं आपसे बाद में पूछूंगा. पहले आप मुझे 132 1 ए, बी, सी और डी का नाम दे दीजिए. ठीक है. ओके. दो का तो आंसर मुझे मिल गया, कीर्ति और नम्रता से. एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. थर्ड वन इज ऑल्सो करेक्ट, कीर्ति. वो Ankit, something different. See, tax evaded wrongly, ITC taken refund erroneously. That is correct. Overall for the category, but 130 to 1 में A, B, C और D क्या है? वो चार ऑफेंस कौन से हैं? Mansa without invoice, fraudulent, inappropriate ITC. Yes, perfect, perfect, perfect. So my question was, what are the four offenses of 132? 1A, that is invoice without supply the goods. B, sorry, A was only supply the goods but without invoice. B was fake invoicing, invoice but without supply the goods. C was ITC on the fake invoicing, and D was collected but not paid to the government. The tax collected but not paid to the government beyond a period of 3 months. That was the four offense. Now, this question is very interesting. You have to tell me. So these are the three questions. These are the three. It is the three question. Question number 1. Question number 2 and question number 3. So tell me, if these four offenses are there conducted, these four offenses are committed by the Mr. A, when section 69 will be attracted? When section 69 will be attracted? Offense are 130 to 1 ABCD. I'm saying when section 69 can be attracted for these four offenses, you have to add some combination, some condition. क्वेश्चन इज क्लियर. मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि जो ऑफेंस कमिट किया है मिस्टर ए ने, इट इज वन ऑफ द ऑफेंस इन द कवर्ड इन द क्लॉज ए बी सी डी. कोई भी एक ऑफेंस कमिट किया. अब ऐसे ऑफेंस के लिए ऑफिसर डायरेक्टली अरेस्ट कब कर सकता है? एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट, इफ द अमाउंट इज ग्रेटर देन 2 करोड़. द राइट आंसर इज इफ द अमाउंट इज ग्रेटर देन 2 करोड़. राइट आंसर विच आई वॉज एक्सपेक्टिंग. Great. Now tell me the missed question number 2. Offense committed is covered in ABCD. When this offense is cognizable and non-bailable? When this offense is cognizable and non-bailable? थैंक यू. कीर्ति ने मुझे एक और सेंट पॉइंट ऐड करवाया है पीछे वाले क्वेश्चन में. यहां पर इफ इट इज कवर्ड इन 132(2). बट मेरा क्वेश्चन क्या था? सिर्फ इस ऑफेंस के लिए 132 1 ABCD वाला ऑफेंस है. इट इज नॉट दिस ऑफेंस. रिपीट ऑफेंस की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं, फर्स्ट ऑफेंस की बात कर रहा हूं. सो परफेक्टली, थैंक यू. इट इज गुड टू ऐड, बट ठीक है. नाउ व्हेन इट इज कॉग्निजेबल एंड नॉन बेलेबल, अगर ऑफेंस 132 1 ABCD का है, व्हेन इट इज कॉग्निजेबल एंड नॉन बेलेबल, which category या in which situation this offense become cognizable and non-bailable? Absolutely correct. So you are saying here if it is greater than 5 crore and if it is up to 5 crore. कब ये कॉग्निजेबल नॉन बेलेबल है? जब ये कवर्ड अंडर क्लॉज 1 है. जब कवर्ड अंडर क्लॉज 1 है, इट मींस द टैक्स इवेजन का जो अमाउंट है, आईटीसी रॉन्गली अवेल्ड का जो अमाउंट है, दैट इज मोर देन 5 करोड़. एंड अदरवाइज अप टू 5 करोड़ तक ये नॉन कॉग्निजेबल एंड बेलेबल है. इज इट क्लियर? विदाउट. थैंक यू अंकित. एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. कीर्ति राइट, नम्रता राइट, अंकित गुप्ता राइट, मानसा राइट. एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. क्लियर हुआ ना ये वाला पॉइंट आपको? तीनों क्वेश्चन क्लियर हो गए राइट? सो एक बार वापस मूव करते हैं स्टडी मटेरियल पर. विल मूव टू द स्टडी मटेरियल एंड देन डिस्कस सम मोर प्रोविजन एंड देन अगेन विल मूव टू द क्वेश्चन आंसर. पावर टू समन, सेक्शन 70 क्या कहता है? समन कब इश्यू कर सकते हैं? power to issue the summon. किसके लिए? To give evidence and produce documents. So it says that during the course of any inquiry under this act, officer may summon any person to appear before him and give evidence or produce document. The person to whom such summon has been issued is duty bound before the officer and bound to tender the evidence, give statement on oath. He is also bound to produce all document which were required to be furnished. So summon एक serious document है, इतना lightly नहीं लेना चाहिए because it has some crucial impact which we will discuss. During the course of inquiry, under this act, officer may summon any person. किसके लिए? To appear before him and give evidence and produce the records or document. The person to whom the summon has been issued is duty bound to appear and bound to tender the statement on oath. He is also bound to produce all documents which were required to be furnished. Asking for evidence or requiring to produce a document does not permit calling for the entire set of the books of accounts. Asking for evidence or requiring to produce the document does not permit calling for entire books of accounts. It is important to call for a specific evidence or document. Recording the statement on oath is not the conclusion of the investigation, but rather to further the investigation. That the evidence or the document obtained in summon proceeding will help in supporting the charge against the person. Summon क्या है? It is important to call for the specific evidence. Recording the statement on oath is not the conclusion of the investigation, rather it is furtherance of the investigation. That evidence or document obtained in the summon will help in supporting the charges against the person. Statement made in the summon proceeding are inherently unreliable for the reason that the person may be annexed due to the nature of the proceeding. Such statements are also not free from doubt due to any amicable relation between the person recording the statement and the person or entity charged with offense. हो सकता है उस स्टेटमेंट पे रिलायंस करना इतना इजी नहीं है. It is also important to note that the person who has made a statement may modify or even withdraw the statement made. However, such modification or withdrawal cannot be done with an inordinate delay. Sometimes it may be possible that the statement has been recorded under due influence, under some pressure. So in that case, that statement given under the summon can be withdrawn. Ki, sir, I have given this statement, but I was unnecessary, undue hardship, unnecessary pressurized, and therefore I have given so much a statement. You can withdraw your statement also. A reliability of statement is discussed in section 136, where 5 circumstances are stated wherein the statement may be accepted by the court as reliable. Section 136 has been discussed in the chapter 21, again offense and penalty. In all other circumstances, the court will administer oath again and record evidence. Document not otherwise available may be summoned and collected, such as contract or other document, annual accounts, which are anyways available on MCA website, should not be called for in summon proceeding. तो जो इजीली अवेलेबल है उसके लिए आप समन मत इश्यू करो, जो आपको रिक्वायर्ड है और नॉर्मली दे नहीं रहा या मिल नहीं रहे, देन यू कैन इश्यू द समन एंड आस्क फॉर दैट डॉक्यूमेंट. Then responsibility of the person so summoned. A person who is summoned is legally bound, duty bound to attend either in person or by an authorized representative, and is bound to state the truth before the officer who has issued the summon upon any subject which is subject matter of examination, and to produce such document and other thing as may be required. अगर अपियर नहीं होते तो क्या कॉन्सिक्वेंस होंगे? द प्रोसीडिंग बिफोर द ऑफिशियल हु हैज इशूड द समन is deemed to be the judicial proceeding if the person does not appear on the date when summoned without any reasonable justification. He can be prosecuted again under section 174 of Indian Penal Code. If he abscond to avoid service of the summon, he can be prosecuted under 172 of Indian Penal Code. And in case he does not produce the document electronic record required to be produced, he can be prosecuted under section 175 of the IPC. In case he gives the false evidence, he can be prosecuted under section 193 of the IPC. So judicial proceeding hai, which is covered under one Indian Penal Code. So there may be some serious consequences if the summon are unattended or not submitted required document, etc. In addition, if the person does not appear before the officer who has issued the summon, he is liable to the penalty up to 50,000 under CGST, up to 25,000 CGST, 25,000 SGST. So the total would be 50,000. Guideline to issuing the summon. हाँ, ये guideline CBIC ने issue किया. Important. Central Board of the Direct Tax, no, Central Board of Indirect Tax and Custom, CBIC, Department of Revenue, Ministry of Finance has issued the guideline from time to time to ensure the summon provision are not misused in the field. Field का मतलब क्या होगा? जहां पर आपका जुरिस्डिक्शन फॉल करता है, जो फील्ड फॉर्मेशन है, जो मेन आपके सुपरिटेंडेंट, इंस्पेक्टर जिनके साथ आप इंटरेक्ट करते हैं, जो आपके प्रॉपर ऑफिसर है, CBIC is ensuring that the summon should not be misused. Some of the important guidelines are given below. Summon are to be used as the last resort, where SSE are not cooperating, and this section should not be used for summoning the top management. So directly आप किसी डायरेक्टर को, CFO को समन नहीं करेंगे आप, क्योंकि उसके गुडविल के ऊपर क्वेश्चन है ना. सी, अगर कोई मान लो किसी बड़ी कंपनी के डायरेक्टर को समन कर दिया ऑफिसर ने, तो इट मींस इट विल बी स्प्रेड इन द न्यूज, मतलब वायरल हो जाता है, न्यूज बहुत जल्दी फैल जाता है. तो इन दैट केस इट विल क्रिएट द क्वेश्चन ऑन द गुडविल ऑफ द कंपनी कि भाई टॉप मैनेजमेंट को समन आ गया, कितना बड़ा फ्रॉड किया. सो दे आर सेइंग द टॉप मैनेजमेंट शुड बी अवॉइडेड टू समन. लैंग्वेज ऑफ द समन शुड नॉट बी harsh and legally worded in such manner which cause unnecessary mental stress and embarrassment to the receiver. If you will not come to the summon, then you may be arrested. If you will not come to the summon, penal consequence would be taken against you, something like that. So it will not create the mental stress. summon by the superintendent should be issued only after obtaining prior and then that to be written permission, not below the rank of the assistant commissioner, with the reason to be recorded in writing. मतलब अगर सुपरिटेंडेंट समन कर रहा है ना तो उसका परमिशन, प्रायर परमिशन प्लस रिटर्न परमिशन टू बी टेकन फ्रॉम द officer not below the rank of the assistant commissioner and with the reason for issuance of the summon to be recorded in writing. Where for operational reason it is not possible to obtain such prior written permission, oral or telephonic permission from such officer must be obtained and the same should be reduced in writing and intimated to be the officer and according such permission at the earliest. ठीक है. In all cases where summon is issued, the officer issuing the summon should submit the report or should record the brief of the proceeding in the case file and submit the same to the officer who has authorized the issuance of the summon. तो वो फाइल उसको सबमिट करनी है जिस पर्सन ने ऑथराइजेशन किया है समन का. Senior management like CFO, CEO, general manager of a large company or PSU should not generally be issued the summon at the first instance. They should be summoned only when there are indication in the investigation of their involvement in the decision making process. कौन सा decision making process? जिसके कारण रेवेन्यू को लॉस हुआ है, जिसके कारण गवर्नमेंट को टैक्स का नुकसान हुआ है, उस डिसीजन मेकिंग में वो मैनेजमेंट इंक्लूड थी, तभी आप उसको समन करोगे, अदरवाइज नहीं. एक बार क्विकली गाइडलाइन के 2-3 पॉइंट याद कर ले. एक बार क्विकली गाइडलाइन के 2-3 पॉइंट, बिकॉज चैप्टर इज स्मॉल सो वी कैन स्पेंड द साइजेबल टाइम ऑन द रिवीजन. तो मैं आपसे पूछता हूं, अभी हमने क्या पढ़ा? अभी हमने पढ़ा गाइडलाइन. व्हाट आर द गाइडलाइन जो सीबीएसई ने इश्यू किया. ठीक है, तो एक बार क्या क्या गाइडलाइन है ट्राई करने रिकॉल करने का. व्हाट आर द गाइडलाइन फॉर इश्यूएंस ऑफ द समन विच इज इश्यूड बाय द सीबीआईसी. क्या क्या गाइडलाइन हमने पढ़ी है एक बार आप याद कीजिए एंड ट्राई टू टेल. चैप्टर स्मॉल है इसीलिए हम बार बार रिवीजन कर पा रहे हैं. दैट इज द ओनली पॉइंट. समन विल बी इशूड फॉर विच रीजन, जहां पर फिजिकल प्रेजेंस उस पर्सन की चाहिए. अब जीएसटी ऑफिसर को मिस्टर ए चाहिए, वो आए और स्टेटमेंट रिकॉर्ड करे, क्योंकि ए वैसे मिल नहीं रहा. देन दे कैन इश्यू द समन इन द नेम ऑफ मिस्टर ए एंड ही हैज टू प्रोड्यूस, ही हैज टू कम. और लाइक सम डॉक्यूमेंट, जैसा एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का कॉपी वो दे ही नहीं रहा, वो मिल ही नहीं रहा, इन दैट केस दे कैन इश्यू द समन टू आस्क फॉर दैट डॉक्यूमेंट. ओके. Last resort, Ankit, absolutely correct. You are saying perfect, perfect. बहुत बढ़िया. You have given in short 3 point. Very nice यार, very nice. Short word में आपने 3 point बता दिए. Very nice. Then मानसा राइट है आपका पॉइंट. करेक्ट. हम्म 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 ये वाला पॉइंट क्लियर नहीं हुआ अंकित, जो अभी आपने लिखा है ना, ये मुझे क्लियर नहीं हुआ. सो सम परफेक्ट. नम्रता असिस्टेंट कमिश्नर, नम्रता असिस्टेंट कमिश्नर, ठीक है ना. असिस्टेंट के साथ वर्ड है कमिश्नर. राइट राइट, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. सो ऑलमोस्ट कवर्ड है। पहला पॉइंट हमने क्या पढ़ा था? पहला पॉइंट हमने पढ़ा था कि ये लास्ट रिसोर्ट होना चाहिए जहां पे वो कॉपरेशन नहीं कर रहा, ठीक है। देन शुड नॉट बी इशूड समन टू द टॉप मैनेजमेंट डायरेक्टली। द लैंग्वेज हार्श होनी चाहिए, हार्श नहीं होनी चाहिए और लीगल होनी चाहिए। ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि वो मेंटल स्ट्रेस क्रिएट करे। देन अगर सुप्रिंटेंडेंट इश्यू कर रहा है तो प्रायर परमिशन चाहिए असिस्टेंट कमिश्नर की। अगर नहीं हो पाती है तो एटलीस्ट कॉल पर ले ले, डिस्कस कर ले और एट द अर्लीस्ट उसको राइटिंग में कंप्लीट कर ले। सबमिट द रिपोर्ट। The officer issuing the summon should submit the report and should record the brief of the proceeding in the case file and submit the same to the officer who has authorized the issuance of the summon. Absolutely correct. एंड सीनियर मैनेजमेंट को आप डायरेक्टली नहीं करोगे। कब करोगे? जब ऐसा प्रूव हो जाए कि वो किसी प्रोसीडिंग में इन्वॉल्व था, डिसीजन मेकिंग में इन्वॉल्व था और जिसके कारण गवर्नमेंट को लॉस हुआ, लॉस टू द रेवेन्यू। हाँ करेक्ट, इन्वेस्टिगेशन लॉस टू द रेवेन्यू उनके, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट। ठीक है, याद हो गया ना अपने को सारा? ऑलमोस्ट सारे पॉइंट याद हो गए अपने को, ठीक है। देन प्रीकॉशन टू बी ऑब्जर्व वाइल इश्यूइंग द समन। क्या क्या प्रीकॉशन लेना है? इस समन शुड नॉट बी इश्यूड फॉर अपीयरेंस वेयर इट इज नॉट सेटिस्फाइड। पावर टू समन कैन बी एक्सरसाइज only when there is inquiry being undertaken and attendance of the person is considered necessary. समन शुड नॉट बी इश्यूड फॉर अपीयरेंस वेर इट इज नॉट जस्टिफाइड। भाई क्यों बुला रहे हो? कोई जस्टिफिएबल रीजन तो होना चाहिए बुलाने का। द पावर टू समन कैन बी एक्सरसाइज ओनली व्हेन देयर इज एन इंक्वायरी being undertaken and the attendance is considered necessary. Normally, summon should not be repetitively issued. As far as practicable, the statement of the accused or the witness should be recorded in minimum number of appearance. जितना नंबर हो कम रखें बेटर रहेगा। Time given should be respected and no person should be made to wait for a long hour before his statement is recorded except when it has been decided very consciously as a matter of strategy. Normally कई बार ये स्ट्रेटेजी का मैटर होता है कि वो सुबह बुला लेते हैं लेट से 12 बजे और रात तक उससे टाइम ही नहीं देते। वो बार बार पूछता है, नो टाइम, सर बिजी है, सर बिजी है, सर बिजी है। लेट से रात को 8 बजे वो कहते हैं अब सर फ्री नहीं है, कल आना। अगेन ही वुड बी sitting for a long time and then again he's asking, might be he could be told that kindly come on the next day. They are saying that this could be possible very conscious and as a matter of strategy है तो ठीक है, बट हर केस में आप ये नहीं करेंगे वेटिंग फॉर द लॉन्ग टाइम एंड वो मल्टीपल टाइम आ रहा है, ठीक है, या समन मल्टीपल टाइम इश्यू कर दिया। Then preferably statement should be recorded during office hour. However, an exception could be made regarding the time and place of recording the statement having regard to the fact in the case. Access to the business premises. Section 71. An officer duly authorized by the Joint Commissioner or an officer higher in the rank, so Joint Commissioner and above, have the access to any business premises which may be required for the purpose of carrying out an audit, scrutiny, verification, checks as may be necessary. An officer duly authorized by the Joint Commissioner or higher rank officer can have the access to the business premises which may be required for the purpose of carrying out any audit, scrutiny, verification and check as may be necessary to safeguard the interest of the revenue. During such access, officer can inspect books of accounts, document, computer, computer programs, computer software, and such other thing as may be required. Okay? If the duty of the person in charge of such premises to furnish the required document, एक मिनट, it is the duty of the person in charge, जो भी उस प्रेमाइजेस का ऑनर है या जो भी पर्सन इन चार्ज है, it is the duty of that person in charge to furnish the required document within 15 working days from the day when such demand is made. Similarly, the person in charge of the business premises are also duty bound to furnish the such document to the audit party deputed by the proper officer or the chartered accountant or the cost accountant who has been deputed by the commissioner. 66 वाली ऑडिट में तो क्या बोला, इट इज द ड्यूटी ऑफ द पर्सन इन चार्ज टू फर्निश द रिक्वायर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट. सिमिलरली इट इज द ड्यूटी टू फर्निश द सच डॉक्यूमेंट टू द ऑडिट पार्टी. कौन सी ऑडिट पार्टी? 66 वाली ऑडिट पार्टी. कैन एनीबडी टेल मी, सेक्शन 66 का ऑडिट नॉर्मली 2 रीजन में किया जाता है. कल बात की थी हमने, we had discussed that section 66 का ऑडिट 2 सर्कमस्टांसेस में किया जा सकता है. कैन यू टेल मी इन विच 2 सर्कमस्टांसेस? Audit of section 66 can be in 2 circumstances. Please tell me what are the 2 circumstances. Value not correct and credit is not within the normal limit. Oh my God, great, very nice, really appreciated it. Very nice. Namrata, Mansa and Kirti, all 3 are correct. So then it is the duty of the person in charge to furnish the document and within 15 days, and similarly it is the duty that he has to furnish the document to the audit party. Which audit party? Section 66 wali. Following records are covered by this provision and are to be produced if called for. The record prepared and maintained by the registered person and declared to the proper officer in the prescribed manner. The record prepared and maintained by the registered person and declared to the proper officer in the prescribed manner. The trial balance, annual financial statement, annual audited financial statement, cost audit report, income tax audit report, or any other relevant record. Power under section 71 may be contrasted with the power under section 67 to inspect the premises. It may be noted that circumstances when each of these sections are applicable are not similar. कौन सा section कब apply करना है? Not necessary. It will be same for all situation. 71 is more general in its scope and extent, which predominantly give the access to place of the business of a registered person. to inspect books, document, etc. for carrying out the audit, scrutiny, verification check, whereas Section 67 is applicable in the specific circumstances and applies to the specific person and place where the government has reason to believe that there is an intention of evade the payment of taxes. So 71 और 67 to certain extent they are same है. Investigation भी premises में जाके करोगे और access to the business premises. इंस्पेक्शन आप कैसे करोगे किसी ऑफ मतलब कि प्रिंसिपल प्लेस ऑफ बिजनेस पर जाओगे वहां पे इंस्पेक्ट करोगे दैट इज मोर स्पेसिफिक एंड 71 इज जनरल कि लेट्स से ऑडिट पार्टी को भी अगर किसी बिजनेस प्लेस पर जाना है तो दे हैव टू टेक द परमिशन तो दे हैव टू टेक द permission which is required in 71. Now 72 is very simple. They are saying the other officer like police, railway, custom, SGST, CGST, or UTGST or land revenue or all village officer, any other class of the officer as may be notified, वो क्या करेंगे वो असिस्ट करेंगे किसको करेंगे जीएसटी के प्रॉपर ऑफिसर को क्यों करेंगे सो दैट दिस लॉ कैन बी प्रॉपरली इंप्लीमेंटेड GST can be properly implemented. Under Section 72, following officers have been empowered and are required to assist CGST officers in the execution of the CGST Act. The category specified are as follows: police, railway, custom, officer of the state, UTG, government engaged in the land revenue, all village officer, any other class of the officer. I think it's done. It's almost done. Let's this time we will do the revision of two chapters. Which two chapter? Today and the chapter which we have did yesterday. Both the chapter we will do the revision because the topic which I'm taking is cover investigation, inspection, search, seizure, arrest, audit. All are covered. So I will. So shall I take the revision of both the chapters? Is it okay? क्योंकि हमने आज के चैप्टर का भी विद इन दिस चैप्टर वी हैव डन द रिवीजन लॉट तो मैं रिवीजन तो मैं आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा फॉर नेक्स्ट हाफ एन आवर द क्वेश्चन विच पर्टेन टू आइदर टुडे चैप्टर और यस्टरडे चैप्टर इज इट ओके नम्रता भी बात की ना इंस्पेक्शन और इन्वेस्टिगेशन इंस्पेक्शन वर्ड यूज किया 67 में और इन्वेस्टिगेशन एक नॉर्मल टर्म है मतलब एज सच लॉ का कोई टर्म नहीं है इन्वेस्टिगेशन मतलब इन्वेस्टिगेट करना कुछ भी इन्वेस्टिगेट करना it is not covered in any other so access to the business premises and inspection they have clarified but inspection or investigation I don't know मतलब ऐसा कुछ स्पेसिफिक नहीं है point to be noticed here 15 working days same as section 66 हाँ कीर्ति सर्च एंड एक्सेस टू द बिजनेस प्रेमाइजेस सर्च क्या है मोर पर्टिकुलर है सर्च उस केस में किया जाता है जहां पर मालूम है कि ये पर्सन कुछ ना कुछ डिफॉल्ट में कर रहा है ही समथिंग डूइंग सम टैक्स इवेजन ठीक है and access to the business premises like auditor 66 में point हुआ he like to do the audit so he has to take the permission for accessing the business premises so like that Kirti and Namrata both please confirm so that I can move ahead clear search and access to the business premises में क्या अंतर है and inspection or investigation as such it is not covered let's move further The provisional assessment can be called in two situations. प्रोविजनल असेसमेंट कैन बी कॉल्ड इन टू सिचुएशन. कौन कौन सी ये बताएं. Two situation when the provisional assessment can be requested. Two situation when the provisional assessment can be requested under section 60. Value and the rate of the tax is not able to decide. Correct. Not relied on document. During the inspection, not relied upon document should be written within how many days? How many days the books, document, etc., which has been taken during the seizure has to be returned within how many days? Answer is 30 days. 30 days. What is the percentage in case of provisional assessment? They will take the security not exceeding how much percentage of the amount covered under the bond. कितना बॉन्ड की वैल्यू का सिक्योरिटी लेंगे वो? How much percentage they will take the security in case of the provisional assessment? Answer is 25%. If after seizure the notice has not been issued within how much period, then goods has to be released. कितने टाइम पीरियड में अगर नोटिस इश्यू नहीं किया सीजर के बाद में, देन द गुड्स हैज टू बी रिटर्न्ड. Right answer of the last question was 25%. Answer is 6 months. Can you tell me the limit of e-way bill? Can you tell me the limit of e-way bill? Answer is limit of the e-way bill. What is the answer? 50,000. What is the answer? 50,000. What is the answer? 50,000. What is the time period within which finalization should be there of the provisional assessment? कितने टाइम पीरियड के अंदर प्रोविजनल असेसमेंट को फाइनल करना होगा? कितने टाइम पीरियड में प्रोविजनल असेसमेंट को फाइनल करना होगा? 6 month फ्रॉम द रिसीट ऑफ द प्रोविजनल असेसमेंट ऑर्डर, फाइनलाइजेशन करने का। इस 6 मंथ को इंक्रीज किया जा सकता बाय अनदर पीरियड ऑफ सम पीरियड, बाय अनदर पीरियड। तो यू टेल मी कितना इंक्रीज किया जा सकता है और कौन, किस डेजिग्नेशन का पर्सन इंक्रीज कर सकता है? हियर देर आर टू टाइम पीरियड ऑफ एक्सटेंशन। स्लाइटली जो हाईएस्ट अथॉरिटी होगी ही कैन एक्सटेंड फॉर ए लार्जर पीरियड, उससे जो लोअर अथॉरिटी होगी हु कुड बी एक्सटेंड सम मोर पीरियड, नॉट दैट ऑफ लार्ज पीरियड। मेरा पूछना आपसे, आई लाइक टू डिस्कस विद ऑल ऑफ यू रिगार्डिंग व्हाट इज द extended time limit and who has the right or power to extend. Along with the designation, if you can tell Kirti, answer is correct. Answer is correct, but now you can add the designation also, who can extend this period and who can extend this period. It can be extended by 6 more months. Joint commissioner and additional commissioner. Please do not write assistant commissioner. ये गलती हो सकती है, अगर आप सिर्फ आप एसी लिखते हो ना याद करने के लिए तो प्रॉब्लम है। तो एसी कभी मत लिखना, इसको लिखना एडी, ए डबल डी एडिशनल देन सी। यू माइट बी प्रिपेयरिंग योर नोट्स, ठीक है? देन इन दैट केस यू शुड राइट जेसी और एड सी, एडिशनल कमिश्नर। नॉर्मल एसी में क्या आता है? वी आर सपोज टू राइट द असिस्टेंट कमिश्नर, then 4 year वो commissioner. Absolutely. The summon is deemed to be the criminal proceeding, civil proceeding, judicial proceeding और no proceeding. अगर कोई समन इश्यू होता है then it is deemed to be the criminal proceeding, civil proceeding, judicial proceeding or no proceeding. Answer is the judicial proceeding. Answer is judicial proceeding. Correct, na? Answer is judicial proceeding. What is the penalty, quantum of the penalty if फेल टू अपियर बिफोर द ऑफिसर इन केस ऑफ समन हैज बीन इशूड बट फेल टू अपियर, तो कितना क्वांटम ऑफ पेनल्टी हो सकता है अंडर जीएसटी? 25 plus 25, that is 50,000. 25 plus 25, that is 50,000. Absolutely correct. In which case, in which category of the offense, in which category of the offense, if amount is more than 1 crore but up to 2 crore, amount of the tax evaded, etc., is more than 1 crore but up to 2 crore, then he can be imprisoned up to a period of 1 year and fine. वो कौन सा ऑफेंस है जिसके लिए 1 करोड़ से ज्यादा होने पर भी इंप्रिजनमेंट का प्रोविजन है? विच ऑफेंस? Absolutely correct. In case of the fake invoicing, clause B, 132 subsection 1 clause B. Now, in case of scrutiny of return under section 61, suppose reply has been given but it is not satisfactory, or he does not take any action, fail to take the corrective action, then we have discussed the officer can take any of the action. We have discussed total 4 actions which officer can take. Can you tell me what are the 4 actions that officer can take if the reply is not satisfactory, action has not been taken? In case of no satisfactory explanation is given by the registered person or no action has been taken, then proper officer has the 4 option in case of the scrutiny of return. Tell me what are those 4 actions? कीर्ति 2 राइट है, दोनों आपने जो बताया वो दोनों राइट है. एंड व्हाट अबाउट द 2 मोर? नम्रता एक दो तीन, एक दो तीन, यू हैव गिवन थ्री आंसर, वन मोर। वैसे करेक्ट है, 65 डिपार्टमेंटल ऑडिट, 66 स्पेशल ऑडिट, 67 इंस्पेक्शन सर सीजर, एंड 73 या 74। कैन यू टेल मी टू कंटेंट ऑफ search warrant? To content of search warrant. Search warrant indicate the existence of the something should contain the following details. What are the details to be covered in the search warrant? राइट अंकित, नम्रता, कीर्ति, मानसा, राइट। मानसा ने रिप्लाई नहीं, मानसा आपका रिप्लाई नहीं आया इस क्वेश्चन पे, लास्ट क्वेश्चन पे रिप्लाई नहीं आया था। My question was that what are the content of search warrant? Any one or two content? Content of search warrant. Violation, absolutely correct. And name of the issuing officer, correct. Extension period of the assessment, 4 year is in totality. Okay, देखते हैं, we'll talk. Date and place. I think further extension है, 6 month तो था ही, but further extension है 4 year, मतलब 6 + 4, 6 month + 4 year. एक बार लैंग्वेज रीड कर लेंगे वापस। डेट, प्लेस, नेम एंड डेजिग्नेशंस, वायलेशन, सीरियल नंबर। ऑलमोस्ट सभी ने सारे कंटेंट को बता दिया। आपने क्वेश्चन क्या पूछा था कि अच्छा, प्रोविजनल असेसमेंट के रिगार्ड में क्वेश्चन था, राइट? तो मैं एक बार रिस्पेक्टिव स्टडी मटेरियल देख के, आपका क्वेश्चन वैलिड है, लेट मी गो टू दैट पेज। सो कीर्ति, आपने क्वेश्चन पूछा ये जो 4 year है, ये टोटल 4 year है या 4 year + 6 month है? लेट्स रीड। द अबव पीरियड ऑफ 6 month मे बी एक्सटेंडेड, 6 महीने को और एक्सटेंड कर सकते हैं। यहां पे क्या लिखा है? बाय द जॉइंट और एडिशनल कमीशन फॉर ए फर्दर पीरियड ऑफ नॉट एक्सीडिंग 6 month, देन बाय द कमिश्नर फॉर सच फर्दर पीरियड, मतलब 6 महीना के अलावा, बट नॉट एक्सीडिंग 4 year। फर्दर पीरियड नॉट एक्सीडिंग 6 month, इसमें मतलब 6 + 6 हो गया, 1 year हो गया, ये 6 + 4, 4.5 साल इन माई व्यू। You compare language, further period not exceeding 6 month, further period not exceeding 4 year. So it is 6 month, it means 6 + 6 हुआ ना। यहां पर क्या मतलब हुआ? 6 month ऑलरेडी तो 6 था ही, और फर्दर पीरियड हो गया 6, फर्दर मतलब एडिशनली, एक्स्ट्रा। तो यहां पे जो फर्दर पीरियड है, तो वो 4 साल तक बढ़ा सकते हैं एज ही मेड इन फिट। वो 3 साल भी बढ़ा सकता है, 2 साल भी बढ़ा सकता है, 1 साल भी बढ़ा सकता है, बट इट विल बी ओवर एंड अबव 6 month। वेरी नाइस क्वेश्चन, इज इट क्लियर? ठीक what is the rate of interest if the tax has not been paid within time, like provisional assessment, we have to make the final assessment, then we have to pay the taxes. What is the rate of interest if I have to pay? If I have to pay, then अगर मुझे मैंने शॉर्ट टैक्स पे किया एंड आई हैव टू पे द बैलेंस टैक्स, देन व्हाट इज द रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट? Which documents need to be attached when applying the provisional assessment? नहीं नहीं, एग्जाम्पल देना इजी नहीं है, ये पूरा प्रैक्टिकल केस हो जाएगा. So I will give only the proof by which I can satisfy the commissioner, satisfy the officer that why I am not able to decide the value and why I am not able to decide the rate. There could be there could not be any perfect simple example. तो ये पूरा प्रैक्टिकल केस हो जाएगा. तो आप ये समझ लीजिए वैल्यू डिसाइड नहीं कर पा रहे हैं बिकॉज, या रेट डिसाइड नहीं कर पा रहे हैं क्योंकि लेट्स से कोकोनट इज कमिंग इन 0%, कोकोनट इज कमिंग इन 5%, कोकोनट वर्ड इज कमिंग इन 18%. So I'm confused that which rate should be applied. So that could be the reason. Now the rate is 18%. The question का answer है 18%. If there is a refund, then they have to give the refund with how many percentage? किस रेट पर देंगे? रिफंड कितना रेट पर देंगे वो मुझे? रिफंड would be given by which rate? नम्रता, यू आर आस्किंग द क्वेश्चन एट द लास्ट स्टेज. एग्जाम्पल मुझे इंटरेस्ट और रिफंड. ओके चल मैं बता देता हूं, सिंपल एग्जाम्पल बता देता हूं. अगर क्लियर हो पा रहा है तो मुझे बताइएगा, कंफर्म कीजिएगा. लेट्स से मैंने रेट 18% पे दिया और फाइनल असेसमेंट में रेट निकल के आई 5%, तो मुझे रिफंड मिलेगा ना. सो आई हैव पेड 18 एंड द फाइनल असेसमेंट वाज गिवन एट 5%. तो मैंने तो 18 पे कर दिया. नाउ आइडियली आई हैव टू पे 5, तो मुझे रिफंड मिलेगा अगर 13%. सब्जेक्ट टू द कंडीशन ऑफ अनजस्ट एनरिचमेंट, वो बात हम पढ़ चुके हैं पहले. अनजस्ट एनरिचमेंट की पॉइंट डिस्कशन नहीं कर रहा मैं, बट दिस कुड बी द एग्जांपल. और लेट से वैल्यू जो प्रोविजनल असेसमेंट बताई उन्होंने मेरे को बताया कि वैल्यू आपकी 1 लाख प्लस 10,000 है, टोटल 1,10,000. बट लेट से एट द टाइम ऑफ द फाइनल असेसमेंट दे आर सेइंग the value is only 1 lakh on which you need to pay the tax because 10,000 is like pure agent concept, so no need of taxes. Then the refund could be possible. Am I right? Now in the section 62, yesterday we have discussed that deemed to be withdrawn. The best judgment assessment कितने दिन में वो deemed to be withdrawn हो जाएगा? Within how many days it will be deemed to be withdrawn? Assessment of non-filer of the returns, best judgment assessment, then it will be deemed to be withdrawn. कब हो जाएगा? Withdrawal of the assessment order कब हो जाएगा? Last question for the day. हाँ, 60 डेज का कॉन्सेप्ट इंटरेस्ट रिफंड के केस में वो अगर वो 60 डे से ज्यादा डिले करता है तभी रिफंड है, नॉट फ्रॉम सिंगल डे, नॉट फ्रॉम इमीडिएट डे. वो रिफंड एप्लीकेशन जब मैं फाइल करता हूं और उसमें 60 दिन में अगर रिफंड नहीं आता तब मैं इंटरेस्ट मुझे मिलेगा, वो भी 6% के हिसाब से. लास्ट क्वेश्चन फॉर द डे, द विड्रॉल ऑफ द असेसमेंट ऑर्डर अंडर सेक्शन 62, क्या टाइम लिमिट है? नहीं, सिर्फ 60 नहीं है, कुछ और है. Yes, 60 plus 60. 60, first 60 without additional late fees and next 60 with additional late fees. Can you tell me कितना है late fees? Can you tell me what is the late fees? Additional late fees, मैं हमेशा वर्ड यूज करता हूं additional late fees क्योंकि खाली अगर वर्ड सिर्फ वर्ड late fees यूज किया ना तो सेक्शन 47 वाला क्लिक हो जाएगा. So please use the word additional late fees and tell me how much is the additional late fees. Yes नम्रता, 60 डेज के बाद में लेट्स से 61th डे से। नहीं, 1 डे। अगर मान लो रिफंड आपको 61वें दिन अलाउ होता है, रिलीज होता है, देन इट विल बी ओनली फॉर 1 डे। इट इज नॉट फॉर एंटायर 60 डेज। इट इज नॉट फॉर एंटायर 61 डेज, ओनली डेज बियॉन्ड 60। कुछ डाउट है इसमें? So the answer is 60 days without late fees and 60 additional 60 days with late fees. And what is the late fees? 100 CGST and 100 SGST for each day. 100 CGST and 100 SGST for each day. एक बार मैं नम्रता, you have the doubt, so let me open that particular study material where the let me read this language with you, where the tax liability as per the final assessment is less than the provisional assessment, then tax become refundable, shall be paid along with interest at the rate 6% for period exceeding 6 days। मतलब 60 दिन के ऊपर जो पीरियड है उस पे आपको इंटरेस्ट मिलेगा। द वर्ड इज एक्सीडिंग, इट मींस नॉट 61 डेज, ओनली 1 डे का मिलेगा। अगर आपको रिफंड 61 डेज में मिलता है तो यू विल बी एंटाइटल्ड टू द इंटरेस्ट एक्सीडिंग 60 डेज। कितना दिन? सिर्फ 1 दिन का इंटरेस्ट मिलेगा। क्लियर? इज इट क्लियर? From my side, it is now crystal clear. Great. Perfect. Thank you very much. Then good night to all of you. We'll meet in the next class for, I think, demand chapter is there. Good night to all of you. Ashok ji, आज के क्लास कंप्लीट।